Hello and welcome to Stint 2 of the 24 Hours of Daytona DES race. We have had a great first stint with many battles on track and the GT class only being apart the top 3 by 3 seconds. So we will have hopefully a great race as well in the second stint. And I also have WSR Otaku with me, but I don't know if you can hear him right now or if he is there at the moment. Yeah, because at the moment I can't see that. Yeah, I don't see any voice for him. The stream should, the stint should start in about 3 minutes. Otaku?
Ah, jetzt höre ich dich.
Ah, okay. Ja, bei mir.
Die leider reinkommen. Irgendwie kalibriert das Headset an meinem PC nicht. Wenn du mir gerade 2 Minuten gibst, versuche ich es nochmal.
Ne, passt, ich höre dich jetzt. Also.
Ja, weil ich jetzt gerade am Handy bin, aber ich kann, glaube ich, nicht beides gleichzeitig. Also über beide Plattformen beitreten.
Ach so. Ja. Let's switch
Aber
to.
annehmen, richtig Spaß.
Ja, let's switch to.
Ich hab's dann leider 2 Runden vorher weggeschmissen, aber naja, kann passieren.
Ja, kann passieren. Ich habe mich auch in die Mauer gehauen nach meinem ersten Pitstop. Schade, weil ich hätte
Glaube ich
da
noch nicht mal mitbekommen.
Ich hätte auch da vorne mitkämpfen können, aber leider habe ich es halt in die Wand geschmissen. Sei es drum.
Ja, aber guck mal, wie eng das noch alles ist. Nach 3 Stunden, 40 Sekunden ist gar nichts. Also da passiert noch einiges.
Jo. Ja, war auf jeden Fall cool mit dir, mit den durch den ganzen Stint hindurch.
Ja, ich hoffe, die anderen beiden benehmen sich jetzt genauso, wie es bei uns funktioniert. Es ging ja irgendwie alles, Verkehr hat irgendwie jetzt mal gut funktioniert. Müssen wir mal gucken. Der McLaren stand halt so ein bisschen im Weg, da gab es relativ viel Rumgeheule bei uns, aber der war, glaube ich, einfach nur ein bisschen nervös. Ich glaube, das war auch keine Absicht. Bei uns hat alles gut funktioniert, also zumindest mich hat er ganz normal vorbeigelassen, bis er sich halt vor uns gedreht hat.
Ja, ich musste halt ausweichen, dann ging halt nicht anders. Aber das, ja, kann man ihm halt keinen Vorwurf machen, das passiert. Ich hoffe einfach, ich habe dich da nicht zu grob weggeschossen oder.
Nö, überhaupt nicht. Ich glaube, du hast mich auch nicht mal berührt.
Okay.
Also bei mir war zumindest nichts, also ich habe jetzt überhaupt nichts mitbekommen. Ich dachte, wenn überhaupt eher, dass ich dich da beiseite gedrängt hätte, aber es ist alles irgendwie gut gegangen.
Ja, also 1-2 Berührungen habe ich gespürt, aber das ist okay. Das macht ja nichts.
Das ist die Hauptsache. Jetzt gucken wir, was dann noch passiert. Ach, Lipsi auch im Chat, sehr schön.
Ja, wir sollten, glaube ich, wieder auf Englisch wechseln.
Jo, irgendwie lädt der Player bei mir nicht, aber okay. Then, let's do it.
Yeah, the stint will start in about a minute. Everybody is in the lobby. We have Eiffel Blitz in front of Philip Rage, then MRL Milano, Poctavian, Natty McNasty, Pax DJ and Dominic Kombitsky in the Hyperclass. Then we have Ben MK in the GT class in the lead. Only about 2 seconds in front of Squishy Dealer and another second by Lanxi. Then we have the E-Goats, Himbeere, Brumadinho, Drift King.
So still the pack pretty close together, considering that we've already been racing for 3 hours. On a track where overtaking is normally really easy, and yeah, now the stint is starting.
Yeah, and when we see that the field is close within 3 seconds with different strategies. Wow, Eiffel Blitz has had quite the advantage here at the start. Everybody else starting normally and Eiffel Blitz already. Whoa.
That was a little bit random. Disconnect? No. That was strange.
Yeah, writing restart.
Yeah, that's fair. As Dunksy also didn't get away from his starting position. Seems that everyone is clearing the grid already. Only one car left, Ben MK, and now everything's back to the standard menu.
Okay. All right. I think everybody should now be on the grid again. Everybody should clear the cache. Because cleaning the cache could help sometimes, not always, but this is some trick that can be done.
It normally helps, yes.
Mm.
Also, when I started my stint, I had the livery box, so I think there were 3 or 4 cars with the standard livery, but I knew that normally they did create their own designs for this particular race, so I had to leave the lobby once again, clear my cache, and join back, and everything was back to normal, and lobby was also really stable. So that seems to help a little bit.
Excuse me, I still have a cold. Unfortunately.
All good.
So yeah,
So
while we're waiting 1 more minute for the start of the stint, talk us a bit through your stint.
yeah, it was a little bit of a mixed stint. There were some good parts of the stint, but I think the pace overall was just not fast enough. But it's all a learning experience, I would say. In the end, it was okay. I did have 2 or 3 mistakes, but the fightings on the track were very good. Traffic management was good. Strategy was good. We were quite. We had to decide if we do the 2 or the 3 stop. I think those 2 strategies in both classes are the main strategy. We went for the 2 stop in the end with 1 car, and the other one with the 3 stop. And I think it was a good decision to try the 2 stop because it seems to be the faster strategy at the moment, especially now as it gets darker. The tire wear is not that huge. I think it will definitely work out to go for the 2 stop. And yeah, I'm just glad that it did work out better than expected.
Yeah, I did more or less the same strategy. I wanted to go for a 2-stop and did some extreme fuel saving in the first stint, so I could go 26 laps, and that I had to do less laps with the next stints. But unfortunately, I had the mistake in the out lap of my after my first pit stop, and then the race went to shit. But
yeah, it can happen, but still there are more than 18 hours left, so
yeah,
everything can and will happen. And we're restarting.
At least there were some awesome battles with you. But
yes, hopefully it will continue onwards with other cars as well, because I think the hypercars were a little bit more spread out.
I was just a bit angry because I wanted to not lose that much time. I didn't want to battle, but in the end, because of the different characteristics of the cars, it was not possible otherwise.
Yeah, later on I went to fuel save as well, to fuel saving as well, because there was not that much that I could do, and the lap times were good. We were pulling away from the cars behind, so all good. Well, in the end, I had a 19 seconds lead to the Corvette behind, and I think in the end it was only a half a second or something like this. We crossed the line almost side by side.
This time the start was clean. I think Dominik Kubinski has overtaken Netty, and Pex DJ now in last position. And in the second class we have Ben, who was able to defend the lead against the Squishy Dealer. Then we have
What's lagging a little bit?
a little bit is good. Then we have Langsi at P10, D-Goat in P11, then we have Himbeer in P12, Brumadinho P13 and Rifkin P14.
Also, there was a position change for second place. Philip Rage went past Milano. And Himbeer now getting past D-Goats. Just for information, I'm watching the stream on Twitch, so I have a little bit of delay, so don't be surprised if I report something that might have happened 15 seconds ago. I'm trying to get used to it.
D-Goats has a Lewis Hamilton helmet inside of a Ferrari. I don't approve.
Yeah, it's a little bit controversial.
And yet that Ferrari on the straights is just a sitting duck. It's the slowest car on the straights, and I think it has the least power of all cars in the field.
Yeah, but you had very good fuel consumption. I think you made like 26 laps or something like this in your first stint.
Yeah, but that was through massive fuel management. Oh, Brumadinho pushes D-Goats off the line, and he lets him through again. That was fair play of him. But it seems D-Goats is struggling a bit with the beginning phase of the race. Ben has to defend against Squishy Dealer and gets sent. I don't know if there was contact or if Ben was a bit too far off the racing line, but Squishy Dealer now has taken the lead over Ben.
Yeah. Looked like a little bit of lag at that situation. It was a little bit strange.
Yeah.
Oh, yellow flags. Yeah, there's a car standing short of the Le Mans chicane.
I think it's it's Netty McNasty.
Oh dear, oh dear. Yes. How did he crash there? That was strange.
I don't think he crashed there. I think he maybe crashed somewhere else and was sent back. But
This could be, yeah, might be possible, yes.
But now the car has no power at all and he's pit.
And we have a change of the lead. Philip went for P1. Philip Rage overtook Eiffel Blitz. And is already half a second in front.
Eiffel Blitz needed to correct the car. Luckily,
Yes.
nothing happened, but she loses a lot of positions.
Yeah, and now Dirty Tires getting into the first corner.
Yeah, not the best start for RRC it seems. Although Ben is still in the hunt of Squishy.
And I have to say, I was very surprised how less grip there is on track. It's so difficult to get your tires up to temperature, especially now as it gets a little bit darker, and you really have to push the first few laps to get the tires up to temperature, because if you don't do so, you lose at least 1.5 seconds per lap or something like this. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it will only get worse in the night.
Yes. I have to drive at 12 o'clock in the night. That's gonna be so exhausting, as I'm already wasted now after driving the first 3 hours. But you guys also have only 3 people in each car per team, right? Or do you have 4 drivers in each car?
No, we have 4 drivers in the Mercedes, and we have 3 drivers for the Ferrari and 3 for the hypercar.
Ah, okay. Yeah, we went for, I think, 3 drivers each team. The only exception is the Lexus, because it would have been a little bit too exhausting, and After we went for the fourth driver, we will drive tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
So Diegolf's now at the moment in P13, but also only 1.5 seconds away from Brumadinho, also an interesting name. Drift King, I think the last time I've been driving against Drifting must have been at, I think, at Road Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's possible. Or maybe Nürburgring. I can remember
Um,
Nürburgring at
no,
least.
I didn't drive Nürburgring, to be honest. At least not the 24-hour race, only the WEC race.
Yeah, I was thinking about the WC race, not the
Ah,
Group
okay.
3 one.
Yeah, that was a disaster race for me. I think I lost like 4 minutes in one stint due to a very disastrous setup for rain conditions. But I think we still managed to get P7 in the end, so all good.
Yeah, I had quite a different problem in on the Nürburgring because I had a setup that was consuming literally no tires. I had literally no tire wear in
Okay,
the.
so you could basically went for the full 2 hour stint without changing tires.
Yeah, I could have done so. Problem
Okay,
is
yeah.
that the tires were too cold, so I didn't generate any grip at all.
Yeah, Gran Turismo always seems to provide us with some new bugs. Some go, some come new in. But overall, I would say that I think it's like the first year that you made an entire season in the Digital Endurance Series, right?
What? Sorry?
It's like the first year that you've made such a huge season, or basically, you had 2 leagues with the Group 3 league and the WEC league, and I think it was like the first time that the Digital Endurance Series provided so many races in only one year. Or am I mistaken? I'm not sure.
No, you're right. Uh,
Yeah.
we had a bit of a more relaxed schedule back then in GT Sport. I think we had one race every 6 to 7 weeks. And it was always a
Okay.
bit different one. Sometimes it was Group 3, sometimes it was multi-class Group 1, Group 3, or Group 3, Group 4. And
Yes.
this year we had 2 series. WC is one series, and the other was the Group 3 one. And yeah, 12
And
races.
next year you are going to do almost the same thing again because I've already had a look on the racing calendar, which looks really, really, really interesting. There are a few tracks already where the hype was already there in our team, I'm pretty sure that we will register once again for next year.
Yeah, we'll need to see if RRC also registers because we want to take a little bit of a break here. After one year with so many races, we're a bit burnt out.
Yes, I can totally understand it. Edge for races, including stewarding, organizing um, the races itself, the stints. It's a lot of work, I know. Eifelblitz and two other, no, I think like 3 or 4 other people in their previous team also organized a 24-hour race, which was also very interesting because it was on the Blue Moon Bay Speedway, the A option, so the one with the longest infield, and driving there a 24-hour race with LMP1 and Group 3 class was really, really fun. We didn't expect so, but was really hard on a track where you do lap times that are around 55 seconds in the hypercar. Was really, really exhausting, but it was also really fun.
I believe that.
Yeah. Just imagine overtaking in the first sector where you basically drive all 4 corners flat out in an LMP1 car, and then you have a Group 3 car, which is so difficult to keep quiet there. And
Yeah,
Squishy
sounds.
Dealer has still maintained his lead in front of Ben MK. Langsi, I think, made also one position, is now in P3 in the GTE class.
Ben was taking a little bit of grass with him. Then we have Langsi in P3.
the lap time's also really, really strong. Already everyone doing 45s and 44s. If you consider how cold the track is at the moment, and it will get even colder. And the wind is also not the best.
Yeah, it's of course it's good for the last sector, but you have to brake
Yes.
so much earlier for this corner.
I think the wind changed like, I think 5 or 6 times during the full stint which we drove, and it was a big challenge to get used to the new wind conditions every 10 to 20 minutes, because if you only brake like 10, 20 meters later, depending on the wind speed, you maybe are braking too late or too early. Oh, that was a close situation. Philip Rage overtaking the RC AMG. It all went well, but it was a close situation. Overtaking at the King is really, really difficult.
We also have Octavian right behind Milano.
Yes. Blitz already 3 seconds behind, and Pax at the moment in P6. And we have Dominik Kubinski as well in P4.
Yeah, in the end, I didn't really know where to go with the GT cars, because everybody overtakes so differently, and in the end I wanted to give everyone a bit of space and wanted to adapt
I had
to
the same
everybody.
problem. It's so difficult to foresee what other people guys prefer to do. I always try to leave like a car within on one side of the track. I used also the flashlights of my car a little bit to show where I'm going, and it seemed to work out. The only situation which I had was, I think, in the first 10 or 15 laps, where I unfortunately blocked Masma a little bit. I think he drove into my back. We both went away without damage, thankfully. But it would have been definitely my mistake, because I stayed left short of the King. He wanted to overtake me left, and normally I should have stayed right, because the racing line is on the right side. But on the other hand, it's easier for hypercars to overtake around the outside. So it's very, very difficult to judge the situation, because there are so many factors, especially if cars in the same class are racing against each other for position at the same time.
Yes, indeed. PGL, I was asking what happened with Natty, and yeah, Natty died. He had a mistake, he had engine damage, and now he has to recover again.
But he's on a good way, while still already 1 lap behind the leading cars, but he already made 1 pit stop, which cost around, I think, considering the fuel that he put in the car, like 1 minute or so. So virtually we could say that he's at the moment like 53, 50 seconds behind the leading cars at the moment.
Yeah, we'll need to see how his tactic will be, because at the moment...
Netty is not on wets. RW is the German short abbreviation for soft normal tires.
Yeah,
Rennenweich, which means racing soft.
yes, exactly.
Nuschel already corrected, and Nuschel was again faster than me, unfortunately.
The rain tires for us would be W, just W. Standing
Yes,
for
like in
wets.
Top Gear 4.
But now Natty has overtaken every GT car and is in P7 again. Squishy 2 seconds in front of Ben, but has slightly worse fuel management. Ben is
Yes, the
looking up.
AMG does consume a lot of fuel. It's very, very difficult to manage.
Then we have Lanxi, who has even a bit more fuel than Ben. Drift King, about the same. Then we have Himbeer and Brumadinho. Brumadinho has taken a lot of fuel right. And then we have D-Goats, who is a bit on a different strategy. He's saving much more fuel. The Ferrari is really difficult to handle through the chicanes. And
Yes,
Ben
I
has left the
noticed that.
room. No, Ben has left the room. What happened here?
Unbelievable. Disconnect. It seems like a disconnect, right?
I guess so. Oh no. And unfortunately, this is 15 minutes in. This is gonna cause real damage. This is gonna cause real damage. Oh, sorry. Now we will probably hear the stream for a while, but hopefully not too long. Oh, there was contact with Langsy and PDJ. Yeah, Megal is now pretty pissed, and I can't understand why.
Yes, that's definitely understandable. And Drift King seems to be making up places, just to mention, because he already is at the moment in P3 in class. It would have been P4 without the disconnect.
But yeah,
Yeah, he's
that's
doing great red lap times. 44s to low 45s, that's really strong.
well. Let's look at Himbeere. His best time is 1:45.0, and it seems he's could be on a two-stop, but the fuel consumption is a bit suspect. I don't know if he can go this distance if he continues to use the fuel like that.
Yeah, Himbeere is more like a driver who likes to push a little bit more, except of managing a race. I'm more like a driver who likes to manage more and not to push more than necessary. So he has a different driving style, but normally he's a really fast driver. So I have to say he did not have that much time for training, but I think he's doing really well at the moment. The position is only because I put him there because I had a very mediocre first stint. Oh, half a second penalty for D-Goats. Yeah. It's very easy to get penalties at the bus stop. Only one misjudgment and you lose like 1/7 per lap. If you sum it up, half a second braking and retaking the speed, I think it costs you like at least 1 second per lap. And it also depends on the mistake that you make that gives you the penalty in the first place.
Okay, let's look at the hyperclass again, because otherwise it could get boring. Philip now with a 6.5 seconds second lead to Milano, who is half a second in front of Octavian. Then 4 seconds behind Octavian is Eiffel Blitz, who has overtaken Dominic Kubinski again. Seems to have made a mistake here. Then we have
Or maybe
Pex.
just traffic.
Then we have Pex, who is 1 minute behind. And then we have Natty, who is another 45 seconds behind.
But Nettie was already in the pits and has like 70% more fuel than Pex does at the moment.
Yeah, but I'm really feeling for this team again. I'm really feeling for Ben, because that disconnect really was unnecessary. And especially they were leading the class, they had won the first stint, and now they're going to fall back so far. Life sometimes really has some strange kind of humor.
Yeah, I know what it means. I think I experienced also worse. I had like a 3-hour race, and it was not a endurance race. It was just a normal 3-hour race, and I think after 2 hours and 50 minutes, I got a disconnect. So I know what it feels like.
Yeah.
It's not exactly the same situation, but it is at least comparable. And Octavian now chasing Milano for the battle for P2.
Yeah, the traffic doesn't really make things easier here.
No, definitely not.
Now Octavian with a chance here to attack Milano, but both are lagging very hard. Now on the outside, and oof. Good planning from Octavian. And he has overtaken Milano now.
Yeah, that was smart racing from both of them. Both of them gave each other more than enough space to keep on going safe, independent of the position they are at the moment. Yeah, Charles already confirms that fair driving for both. Yeah, that's how it always should be.
Definitely. Yeah, that B&R car looks quite a bit different than it looked in the previous races. I like the design.
Yeah, we also did the exact same thing with our AMG, because as it is our 10th anniversary of our real-life racing team, we had the idea of putting an older design, which we had on the VW Golf, on our AMG, and yeah, it does not look that bad.
Up second penalty for Dominic Kubinski. Was not ideal, but at least he can recharge a bit of electric energy.
Yes. I think hybrid energy is also a very interesting story, because I think our second hypercar team was in the situation at the end of the stint where they had a little bit less hybrid energy compared to the car behind. I think it was the car that Philip Rach is driving at the moment, and they did a little bit better job on managing the hybrid system, and they were like half a second each lap faster in the end.
Yeah.
Just because you have that extra boost, which yeah, gives you that little bit of extra time per lap.
Yes. Oh, there was contact between Dominic Kubinski and Squishy Dealer. They both claimed the right for the corner, and this could have only ended this way, but luckily Squishy lost only a little time, a second. Langsy didn't really profit from that. Yeah, Squishy already...
Yeah, the wind is...
Yes.
no, I didn't want to say anything, sorry. I was just mentioning that the wind is already changing, turning a little bit more to the east side, so it could be that people get a little bit more confident breaking into turn 1, as there is not that much tailwind as there has been at the race start.
Yeah, true. Yeah, what I want to say is Squishy dealer only has about 12 or 13 liters left, so I think he really needs to be smart. If he wants to go for a two-stop, he has to be a little bit less... he has to use a little bit less fuel.
He is still barely able to go for the two-stop, but it will be really, really close.
Then Langsy is a bit better with fuel. This should work for the two-stop. Then we have Drift King. About the same pace, about the same tire wear. There is not really much of a difference between those two. Then we have Brumadinho, who is already in the red area. He has overtaken Himbere. Himbere has now rear damage. Something has happened to him.
Yeah, there must have been a collision. Normally, if you get rear damage, that normally means that somebody has to have either front damage, which could be a hypercar, but I think every car was in a normal situation. At least I did not see any damage. Rifle Blitz is in P4 at the moment. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure.
Yes, that's true, still in P4. Hard to blame someone with these lags. Yeah, of course, sometimes the lobby is just very dodgy. There's nothing you really can do here. And blaming the lobby host, yeah, don't really think this works. Alpha Blitz with a little mistake, was able to correct it. Oh, come on. A 1.5 second penalty for correcting a slide. Yeah. Thank you, game. Thank you, PD. Yeah, absolutely. Stupid track limits. She didn't gain any time.
Yeah, it's just a game. If you see track limits, it's independent if you gain time or lose time. The game just thinks that you committed a crime and you have to be punished for it. It is strange, but if you're driving in Gran Turismo, you unfortunately have to get used to it.
Yes.
Even if it doesn't make any sense, like in this situation. But thankfully, Alpha Blitz kept P4, so all good. But the lap times are really, really equal between the first 5 cars in the hypercar class at the moment. Philip Rage seems to be a little bit faster than the rest of the class at the moment, for the time being, but it's still really close. 16 seconds after half an hour, and already different strategies, different tactics in the hypercar class as well as in the GTE class as well.
Yeah,
I think there will also be many people who will go for the 3-stop strategy again.
Let's look a bit at the fuel and tire coverage. Philip seems to be pretty good with the tires. Octavian used quite a bit less of fuel. Hybrid energy is about the same level for both of them. Then Milano used a bit more fuel, used a bit more tires than Octavian. Eiffel Blitz.
But less than the race leader at the moment.
Yes. Eiffel Blitz really thirsty, but good with energy. Dominik Kubinski even more fuel used. Yeah, Pax for some reason loses a lot of time. 134 lap times. But lap 12 was probably a lap where he made a mistake, because that's a 157. He lost over 20 seconds in this lap. And Natty is delivering a comeback drive with a 131.4 as a fastest lap time.
So it's not over yet?
No, at least not for the last position.
No, definitely not. Maybe even top 5 is still possible.
Yeah.
You never know in a 24-hour race, you never know.
Yes.
Anything can and will happen.
Now let's look at Squishy. Very good pace, 145s all over the 140, low 140, high 144s or low 145s through the board.
Anyone watching Bundesliga at the moment, no, it's not a graphic mistake, it is basically reality. Make of that what you want.
Lanxi seems to make up a bit of the lead.
Yes, he does. Seems to be pushing at the moment.
Yeah, 144.7, that's the best lap time so far.
Fuel seems equal on both cars, on the AMG as well as on the Corvette.
Yeah, Corvette has a bit of an advantage. Only a little one, but it has an advantage.
Then, yeah, it's a strong car around here. It's probably why RTO and what's the name of the team in green again? I always forget the name. Yeah, that should have been the reason why they went for it, because the Corvette, yeah, proven car, but we didn't even consider the car. We were like thinking between AMG, Porsche, McLaren, Audi. Those were like the 3 cars which we had to decide on which we register, or even the Ford GT, which is also really fast, the newer one. But the Ford was a little bit too difficult to drive. Thank you, Flipsy Guahana Racing. And it's even readable on the car. That's a little bit embarrassing for me at the moment, but it's okay.
Okay, D has now improved his pace. The last lap was a 145.1, which is pretty solid.
Really strong, yes.
But this lap he did lose a lot of time. Maybe he did a mistake, or maybe there was some problem with the lapping. Who knows?
But he might be able to overtake Himbere in the pit lane, because Himbere has to repair damage, which will cost around 2 to 3 seconds. So they might come out very close to each other.
Indeed, yes. Squishy now probably on the last lap, which he can do, and then he needs to pit. If he wants to go for a 2-stop, he needs to refuel completely.
But the tire wear seems really great on the GT cars compared to the hypercars overall.
Yeah, I also noticed that for some reason the GT cars are better in this management.
Yeah, maybe they just have a little bit more less grip in the infield, and that's the reason. Because I think if you get excessive grip, the tires wear out a little bit faster,
Yeah.
and that seems to be the problem with the hypercars, because they have so much mechanical grip. So Squishy now
Oh,
coming into the pit lane, and I would say everyone else stays out.
I wouldn't say the LMH has a good mechanical grip. Quite the contrary. In the slow corners, I have the feeling that the GT cars are faster.
Yes, they are faster, but yeah. Then there might be a different reason, but yeah, fact is definitely that the hypercars do consume a lot more tires than the GT cars, at least on this track.
Yes.
I think in the Mans it was quite even between both cars.
Yeah, I thought usually they use less tires, the hypercars, but for this track, I don't know, maybe because of the many acceleration zones, the tire wear for the hypercar is worse. Okay, Squishy went into the pit, same as the Goats, he also went into the pits. And Brumadinho continues on. Let's see where he will come out. Squishy in P11, 40 seconds behind Himbere.
By the way, when did Brumadinho made his stop? Must have made his stop really early as well.
Yes, he made the pit stop very, very early, but I believe he only could reach 18 laps, so he's definitely on a three-stop strategy,
Yes, I would say
unless
the
he
same thing.
unless he changes tactics.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it depends on your driving style. If he has a driving style where he needs to push more and is fast at the end, in theory, I think both strategies are equally fast. It just depends on so many things. It depends on traffic, wind conditions, tire wear. So difficult to judge. I think now
Yes,
during the nighttime that the tire wear gets a little bit less. The two-stop might be even faster, but it does not necessarily have to be because you need so much time to get your tires up to temperature. And I think with that huge amount of weight that you get with a full tank of fuel, it might not be that easy and that obvious.
I'll say the heavy fuel load in the first stint did get me out in trouble because I didn't think that the car was so sensitive, and then I spun out in the double chicane. Really unlucky, but yeah, it
Yeah, it can
happened.
happen. I had a similar problem in my final stint because I think I needed like 10 laps or something like this to get my tires up to temperature, and I was doing consistently 46 lap times, and that was obviously way too slow if you compare it to the rest of the grid who was doing at this time like 45s or 44s, even 43s. I think RTO made a 43.7 or something like this, which is crazy during the race.
Yeah. Squishy is now 3 seconds from the Flancy, who has also pitted, same as Drift King, who is 6 seconds behind. He has also pitted. Brumadinho is on a completely different strategy and gets pushed off by Pex. Not ideal. And indeed, the Goats did overtake Himbere, but uh, as it seems at the moment, the Goats seems to be on a three-stopper. So
But I think he short fueled a little bit, yes.
yes,
But the fuel could be enough to go for a two-stop race as well if he does not consume that much.
yeah, but look, he's revving the car out, so I believe he's not looking at the fuel right now.
Yeah, if he's not playing with the mixer, then he will definitely go for a three-stop, yes.
Philip now in the pits, 11 seconds gap to Poctavian, but I think Poctavian can go for maybe 2 more laps.
And I think Himbere will now awaken as well now that he got his damage repaired.
Out of curiosity, I checked how many people have disconnected from whose lobbies this year. It's more than 10.
In 11, no, 12 races now, if we consider this one as well.
Yeah, but sometimes there were multiple lobbies hosted.
Oh man. Ah, by the way, I still have to do my BOP validation. I can do that just now, because before I forget it.
Yep, as I thought, Octavian goes for one more lap, at least. Milano also goes for one more lap. Philip is 42 seconds behind. I guess he's on a 3-stop as well. It is the better strategy for the LMH car because of the tire wear. Tire wear with the LMH car for some reason just is much worse.
Nushel just said +1 disconnect today. Yeah, so we are at 12 disconnects now, 1 per race.
Yeah, but what can you do? Sometimes it's also the server and the lobby.
Yes, mostly the server.
It's really not always the host.
Yeah, I think Ku hosted enough lobbies and most of them were normal.
So, Octavian goes for one more lap and Milano pits now. Oh, tire wear for Octavian. Quite severe at the rear. But yeah, what can you do? It's just a hypercar. It's really, really hungry for rears. It could also be that the oval itself is really hungry for tires and is because of the high loads that the cars are experiencing.
And also the hypercars are spending way more time upper part of the oval for overtaking the GT3 cars.
Yes.
But it's also great to see that everyone understood the gentleman's agreement for Daytona, that normally the faster category cars overtake around the outside of the oval, and that the GT3 cars always stay on the inside, because there is no specific racing line at the oval, because it changes all the time.
Usually I also stayed on the bottom. I also stayed on the end line. But sometimes when I saw that someone is really, really close behind me, I use the upper part. Because I don't want to stand in their way.
Yep.
Yeah, now Octavian also pits. If we look at Philip, he's now 14 seconds in front of Eiffel Blitz and 10 more seconds in front of Milano, because Milano, yeah, he refueled 75 liters.
So he might go for a 3-stop.
Yeah, maybe for a 2-stop, but I don't know. Milano
Yeah, he still
usually,
has the possibility to decide later on.
yeah,
He's now a little bit more flexible.
that's true, but I'm just a bit out of curiosity. Milano never has been a driver who is really looking after tires, so I'm interested to see how he manages that.
Well, the last races that I made with him were quite normal. I think he had almost the same tire wear as I had. Maybe a little bit less management, but I always take it to the extreme levels.
Oh, whoa. Yeah, Milano has reacted well. Pex DJ came out of the pits, and I just thought he would just go on the racing line, but he reacted accordingly.
Yeah, we gave Vulcan a heart attack as well during our stint when he went out of the pits and we were fighting.
Yeah, Ku says it's weird because as a driver I only had one disconnect in a quali, which definitely was my internet. Yeah, again, we're not blaming you. It's not your fault. Of course, we need lobby hosts, and we're happy if someone can host them, and you did that, so that's cool. The other option would have been F1 Dennis. Maybe we should have, yeah, but maybe it would have not. Maybe it would be less laggy in his lobby, but on the other side, he's from the US, and most of us are Europeans, so it could be that there are other problems because of NAT type. There's a high chance
Yeah, I
that
think
it's
it would
just
have also
GT7B.
been as laggy as the actual. How is D doing?
Yeah, D is in P12.
Just short of ahead of Himbeere, I think.
Just ahead of Himbeere. Lap times are in the 46s, 2 times the 48, maybe because of a mistake. Yeah, but again, the Ferrari is a very specific car because it is from the BOP, just very slow on the straights. It's difficult to get lap time. You have to make it in the corners because the Ferrari is good in corners and especially good in acceleration out of the corners. And it has good fuel management if you really look to save fuel.
I think in Gran Turismo Sport it was like the same thing with this car. It was so good on fuel always.
Yeah, but you know the GTBOP. The GTBOP makes the Ferrari useless because it had
Yeah, that's maybe the reason why we don't see that car that often as we would like to see it in like World Series finals or something like this, because the car is still great to drive. But of course, we also would like to see the newer Ferrari, the 488, or maybe even the 296, which won the 24-hour Nürburgring race in real life this year. Great looking car, in my opinion.
Yeah, but you know, PD, they would rather put an updated Lamborghini in the game
First,
or an updated Japanese car.
or a watch, like the Bulgari, which we are getting now,
Yes.
which is basically a driving watch. But yeah, it's okay because there were a few updates that were really good. We got the Mercedes already. We got the Nissan GTR of 2018. We got the Porsche just a couple of weeks ago. So we're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah, just for the GT3 category, last time we didn't have any update. The new GT3 Porsche was of course cool, but not viable for this category. And yeah, there are a few manufacturers that desperately need new cars. For example, Aston Martin has a 2012 GT3 in it, Ferrari has a 2013 GT3, McLaren still has the 650S, while they're with the 720S Evo.
And Porsche doesn't even have a GT3 car. The RSR is still one, the 2017 GTE car.
Yeah, but it works. It's the same with the Ford GT. It's also
That's right, yes.
a GT
It's
car.
okay. And we need the new Corvette as well. I think individuals with the best suggestion of the century. Daihatsu Coppen Superleggera Vision GT Group 3. Yes, perfect.
Yeah, that would be cool.
No, but I'm still curious what will come because we, received quite a lot of updates, and we should never forget that the updates still remain free. You don't have to pay any money for it if you compare it with other games. But of course, everyone would be happy if the Group 3 or GT4 class mod is getting a few more cars in the next months, years. I think the game will still be playable for the next few years, not only months.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be new cars all the time, but maybe a Bentley GT3 would be cool. But especially just a new Ferrari or a new Aston Martin. They are just so far behind with everything. I mean, the 488 came out, had an Evo variation, and now we have the 296. And for Mercedes, for BMW, we have the new M4. And for the Porsche, we also have another GT3 which we could implement.
Yes, the 992 GT3R. And of course, there are the facelift cars like the new Audi Evo 2, the Honda NSX Evo, the Lamborghini Evo 2. There are so many cars which have just slight facelifts or similar updates, but I think those one are still okay. The Lamborghini still is a fun car to drive. It's only a bit difficult to manage.
I find the Lamborghini quite easy to drive, but the problem is that it weighs, from the GTPOP, it weighs so much and it has so awful rear tire wear, like the Ferrari, but at least the Lamborghini still has power, which the Ferrari doesn't have.
Eifelwitz is already chasing Octavian now for first place, only 1 second remaining, and there are no
Second.
cars in front at the moment.
At the moment, not that much happening. Okay, maybe we do have something. Milano against Dominic Kubinski. Yeah, maybe not, because Milano has burned out his hybrid energy, whereas Dominic still has some left.
But it will be interesting if when Dominic also runs out of energy, which will happen at some stage during the stint. Question is when.
Yeah, at least in this sector, it doesn't really seem to make a difference because Milano can hold himself in the slipstream.
Yeah, thankfully, because when they get to the middle sector, to the infield again, where you have to accelerate out of slow corners, you will see the difference, I think.
Yeah, Dominic with a bad exit. That wasn't.
And still
Whoa!
gaining.
And yeah, Milano has pushed a bit too much
Yeah, he
and
missed his
has
braking point.
missed his braking point, went to the grass. Maybe he was a bit confused about the braking zone.
But
Because
thankfully, no damage for both cars. Both can continue normal.
Yes. What I also saw is that Milano, I don't know, but in the qualifying, he drove with a bit more downforce. Is that right?
To be honest, I don't really know, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, because he was about, what should I say? He was about 7 or 8 kph slower than every other WSR LMH car in qualifying.
Yeah, it might even depend on the wind. I'm not sure.
There was no wind
Yes,
in the
but now
qualifying
there
lobby.
is.
Yeah, but it looks like he loses a bit of time on the straights.
As far as I know, I don't think that they made a setup change. The only thing that no, to be honest, I'm not really sure because we only focus on our GT3 cars and we let the hypercar teams do their own thing, do their testing, do their setup, and it worked out pretty well. Everyone feels confident in their cars, and yeah. So I think it worked out very good. And meanwhile, Eifelbitz closed the gap to Octavian almost. At least she's in the stream now.
Also has a bit more hybrid energy left than Octavian. This could be helpful in the acceleration zones, could be helpful here.
A slightly better exit out of the Le Mans chicane, which, if you want to enrage Eifelbitz, you only have to call the chicane bus stop chicane. She doesn't like the name because the official name now is the Le Mans chicane.
Yeah, definitely more looks like a bus stop.
Yeah, but it is officially now known as the Le Mans chicane. But I also always say bus stop chicane if I call this particular sector of the racetrack. It's difficult to get used to.
Octavian now with a little mistake. Lanxi plays with them. Yeah, very well done from Lanxi. Very fair.
Yep, also fair for both drivers.
These lags are really off.
Getting a slide headed.
I've split with so much more grip.
The question is how will it develop later on, because Octavian made his stop really late, so we could also almost suggest that Eifelblitz is going for the 3-stop and Octavian might do the 2-stop. So Eifelblitz has to clear Octavian as soon as possible.
Yeah, because the advantage of the hybrid energy doesn't last very long. It seems that she has a bit of a different setup to Octavian, which isn't that good on the straights, maybe a bit more downforce for the corners.
Yeah, this could help to save a little bit more energy, because if you can take more speed around the corners, you already have speed that does not need to get picked up again, and therefore the hybrid energy is not as relevant. Of course it is relevant, but it's just micro differences.
Yeah, but you also have
But
a
I
short.
think the main reason...
But you also have
Yes, that's also...
Can you please? Can you please let me talk?
Yeah, it's difficult. I have a slight delay. Sorry. I'm really sorry.
Oh man.
I'm letting you talk. Sorry.
Yeah, on the other hand, it's of course an advantage that you have more speed in the corners and that you are using less energy, but you also recuperate less because you're less long on the brakes.
Yes.
So you gain a bit, you lose a bit, and I think on this track maybe it would be better for the hybrid energy if you go with a low downforce setup, but everybody's different.
I think the most important thing is that you drive with a setup or with a concept that you feel safe to take a 3-hour stint. That's the most important thing. And the
Yes.
rest normally comes itself.
Alpha Blitz taking a look on the outside. Octavian very late on the brakes. Was able to defend himself. The Eiffel Blitz has so much better mechanical grip. But on the straight, she seems to be a bit slower. The switchback. And now Eiffel Blitz is in P2. Octavian P3. But I believe that Octavian should have a car that is a bit better on top speed. So it could be that he catches.
We'll see.
It could be that he catches her again.
It only depends on the exit onto the oval and now entering the bus and managing the bus stop chicane. Le Mans chicane, sorry. I made the same mistake again.
Well, if she says bus stop is okay. Okay, Octavian with a very good exit. Now let's see if he can get the suck. But yeah, gains 1/10. He's definitely gaining much more.
Yeah, the top speed is really even. I would have said that he would be able to overtake Eiffel Blitz again.
Yeah, I think the top speed of Octavian is a bit better. Seems to be running with a little less downforce, but Eiffel Blitz is much faster through the corners. And
yeah, so it's now important to pull away while she can, so that now that this is a sector where she now has no car in front and she needs to use this clear air now to her advantage.
Yeah, when she has a gap of like 7/10 or 8/10, then slipstream won't work anymore.
Nope.
Can we see
and now she's already 1 second ahead. Sorry.
Can we see how Drift King is doing? Yes, sure. We have Squishy Dealer in P8, 6 seconds in front of Lanxi. And then we have Drift King, 7 seconds behind Lanxi. Wow, 143.5 of Lanxi.
This guy's not normal. And he's also already improving again.
Yeah, but these laps are singular. They are not his usual pace, it seems. Because otherwise he's in the 45, 44. So he can
149.
He can get a few very good lap times. Or maybe he also used a bit more fuel. Anyway. Yeah, 4/10 faster, but maybe he was a bit... Maybe he had also slipstream for this occasion. Yeah, lost it again. Must have been a very good chicane in this lap.
The thing is, he's not closing the gap to the car in front.
Oh, look at that.
He's also not... What happened?
He lost 1 second in the last sector.
So he might have got some slipstream.
Either slipstream or he got... or maybe he got a push from behind. I think it happened to Slim once, to my Mercedes teammate. He also had a bump from behind and he gained like 30 kph.
Okay.
Yeah, so what is GTM, what is this Cup T doing?
Eiffel Blitz back in P3 due to time penalty. Thanks, Charles.
Okay, solved itself. I wanted to write to Ku that you should kick him. Pex goes by, no problem. Lanxi now with a bit of a problem here in this corner. Lost a bit of time.
But look how close McNasty's onto P6 already.
Yeah, look.
Only 1 second remaining.
Okay, I'm looking. Brumadinho, 8 seconds behind Drift King. Then we have Himbere, 18 seconds behind Brumadinho. And we have D-Goat 2 seconds behind Himbere. So yeah, he seems to be on a 3-stop strategy. Unfortunately, not on the 2-stop like we... Wow, also a 144.6. Not bad.
Yes. Really strong lap time. Faster than me. I think my maximum lap time was like a 144.7 and I was very happy with it, even if it was a slipstream lap.
I got a 144.9, but also with slipstream. But on the other hand,
The key is consistency.
I was more or less consistent, bar from one lap. Yeah, anyway. Philip now 16 seconds in front of Octavian, who was able to get the position back from Eiffel Blitz. G made
And is already 2 seconds ahead, so that must have been a massive penalty. You don't normally use that much time by cutting the Le Mans chicane.
Yeah, but she has a 1:36 lap time in lap 42. Maybe there was a little mistake. But yeah, now she needs to make up the gap again. Already, Ku did already kick him, so yeah. Oh, Eiffel time penalty off track. Okay. Well, if you'll excuse me, I want to eat something because I need to be I need to have some energy for the third stint because I will be driving this. I will leave you for a bit. Let's look to the field. Maybe we have a driver who is fighting for position. No, it doesn't seem like that. Then let's keep at Philip. I will leave you will leave you to commentary.
Alright, no problem. Enjoy your meal. See you later. Okay guys, so now let's enjoy a little bit of time with the race leader while Confi's having a short break. So, 1 hour and 10 minutes already passed, almost, which means we still have 1 hour and 50 minutes to go. So, still a long way until the end of the stint, and then there will be 5 more stints after this one. And again, every stint will be 3 hours long, and yeah, it's gonna be exhausting, but yeah, it's okay. Ah, danke Kuh, stimmt, du hast recht, ich kann ja auch in die Lobby, dann machen wir das mal. So just give me like 2 minutes, I will join the lobby and so I can switch through the cars again and at least keep you informed about anything happening on track. Ja, hat keiner von uns dran gedacht, alles gut, kein Problem. Danke dir. Okay, game is loading. As I'm using a PS4, it's gonna take a few minutes, but I will keep you updated with my current information, which is the stream we are doing at the moment via Twitch. Now that nighttime has finally arrived fully, it'll be interesting how the mechanics of the car continue developing, like tire wear, tire temperature. I think it will be a very interesting, very important factor for the next remaining 2 hours, and of course for the following night stints as well. And it will definitely pay dividends considering the strategies that are possible for this race. At least the ones that make sense. Alright, 60 seconds and I will have full coverage for myself at least of the current race. And I think conflict again because we had a switched perspective. Alright, crew, I'm joining the lobby. Please do not kick me out. So we have full coverage again. So let's have a look at the field. Well, of course, everyone first has to complete the first lap so that we can identify where each car is positioned at the moment. Alright, so Philip Rage at the moment in the lead of the race with 17 seconds of an advantage to Proctavian, who himself is 5 seconds ahead of Eiffelblitz in P3. Then we have in P4 Dominic, who is at the moment 45 seconds behind the leader of the race and 22 seconds behind Eiffelblitz. Milano 6 seconds behind Dominic in P5, and Neddy McNasty with I think 1 lap of a disadvantage back in P6, but he made his way up against Pex, who was in P6 before that. Then let's go to the GT3 cars. Squishy Dealer seconds ahead. He was doing great lap times at the moment. Drift King in P10 in the McLaren. Romadinho in P11, Himbeere in P12, and D-Goats in P13 at the moment. The gaps at the moment, D-Goats is now 8 seconds behind Himbeere in P12, Himbeere 12 seconds behind Romadinho, then 8 seconds ahead Drift King, further 13 seconds ahead Langsy, and then the gap between the 2 leading cars in the GTE class is now 3 seconds. Race leader at the moment, Squishy Dealer driving for WS Racing, and the race leader in the hypercar class is Philip Rage for Halex. So every car at the moment in perfect conditions, no damage. Nobody seems to be doing fuel stop for the time being. I would say the first car to enter the pits is either the hypercar of Philip Rage or of Eiffel Bliss. Both of those cars are the ones that have the least amount of fuel left. So it seems very probable that both cars will have to come into the pits in the next few laps. Meanwhile, Philip Rage getting past Pax, not for position. So therefore Pax left Philip Rage more than enough space to do so. Bombardino went into the pits and left already? No, he did not enter the pits. Did look like, but it didn't happen. Neddy McNasty taking his time, overtaking Bombardino, smart decision, because getting past the GT3 car in a hyper really easy for a misunderstanding to happen, but it was thankfully not the case. Philip Rage now behind Bombardino, no problem getting past at the oval. Now Philip Rage has somewhat cleaner in front. The only car which he still has to overtake is the hypercar of Neddy McNasty. Hi Confi.
Hi Otaku, I'm back.
Yep, Confi Ku gave me the permission to enter the lobby, so I now have also full coverage and no delays whatsoever, depending on any situation that will happen, maybe later on during the race. I can already tell you that you did not miss anything important, I think.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah, but that's a good thing. I'm not sad about it, to be honest, because we had a few situations already during this stint, so yeah. Let's hope it stays clean. I'm gonna go for a lunch break in 30 minutes or so, if that's okay for you, but I would like to stay until that.
Yeah, no problem. Excuse me, I'm still having a cold.
So the gap between Squishy and Langsy is getting shorter and shorter, only 3 seconds. That's the reason why I didn't hear you, okay. Thought it was a little bit of delay, but my connection at the moment is quite okay.
Okay, so now Squishy Dealer in P8 is 4 seconds in front of Langsy. Langsy was able to improve his pace to 144 pretty consistently. Drift King can't really keep up with them. He's about a second slower per lap, or at least a second to half a second to a second slower per lap. Octavian behind him. Yeah, clean overtake. Then we have Brumadinho in P8. drove a 1:44.8. But wow, he seems...
But Brumadinho is losing time a little bit.
Yeah, but he's also saving fuel, it seems to me. He's saving quite a bit of fuel.
So he might go for the 2-stop.
Maybe.
The tires are looking good at the moment. The only tire that worries me a little bit is the rear right tire, which does not seem very happy at the moment, and he also got a half a second penalty. And Himbeere is getting closer and closer. And both of them could still be up for the 2-stop strategy, so difficult to say. Squishy made up 2 seconds against Langsy. And Octavian is also pulling away from Eifelblitz. I think there were like 3 seconds between both cars, now 5.8 and increasing. Octavian has a little bit better tire wear, so the car seems more stable.
Yeah, but only slightly. Maybe the
Yes.
maybe the rear tire might be a bit of a problem. But for this they will go change in a few laps. Yeah, I wanted to look at the GT class once again. Wow. The Goat's rear tire looks pretty used. His fronts, of course, are okay, but the rear tires, yeah, maybe this is the reason why he goes for a 3-stop. The Ferrari is just so rear heavy. It's basically it's the wrong car for this circuit. Whoa! Now he made a mistake. Luckily, no damage. But went in too deep. Maybe he also drifted a bit. I couldn't see it properly. But yeah, that car doesn't seem happy. Yeah, I guess Brumadinho, yeah, will be difficult because if he wants to go for a 2-stop, he would need to stay out until lap. What is it? About lap 60. I don't think he will do that. Or in other words, he will need to stay out for 20 more minutes. And considering he has about a little bit more than 30 liters of fuel, I don't think this is gonna happen. Eiffel Blitz now in the pits.
So that is basically like the confirmation that she's going for a tree stop, because there are still more than 1.5 hours left.
Yeah, I don't think anything else is possible with this car. I think a three stop really is the way to go because of the rear tire wear. Now let's see how much she refuels. I think she will go to 60 or 65 liters.
Himbeere are only 6.5 seconds behind Brumadinho, so the gap is still coming down.
Sorry.
No problem.
Yeah, 59 liters. And she has free track ahead of her. Philip also in the pits
And
now.
Philip Rage also coming into the pits, yes.
His rear tire looks even more cooked.
But the times were still okay that he was doing. Of course, he was a little bit slower at the end, but he still also has a little bit of hybrid energy left now that he enters the pit.
Yeah, that means that Octavian takes the lead of the race for at least a few laps until he will give the lead back because he needs to pit as well. Dangerous situation here with the Ferrari. But no problem. Philip comes out just about in front of Dominic.
So perfectly calculated refueling, I would say.
Yes. Oh, Dominic's tires also don't look that good. They're also quite cooked here. But he still has quite a lot of fuel in his car. So it could be that he needs to pit prematurely. Half a second penalty for Dominic.
Yes. I think you all can be glad that you are not seeing my screen, because I do have the livery bug again. So like half of the cars in this lobby do have the standard liveries.
Yay, thank you, Peloton.
At least it didn't happen during the day, so I could recognize every car even without seeing the name of the driver above.
Yeah. Eiffel Blitz now setting some quite fast lap times. This one was a 1:31.7, and it looks like she can do another quick lap.
And I think Octavian will do a maximum of one more lap after this one, and then also do his pit stop. And I don't think that he will be able to do the 2-stop as well, because the fuel consumption seems a little bit too high, as does the tire wear.
Yeah, it just isn't viable with the LMH cars to do a 2-stop. Only if you would take the medium tire, but as
Ooh,
we
that
all
was a
know,
close situation.
yeah, that was
Overtaking
close.
on the inside, entering the oval. It could have gone wrong, but thankfully nothing did happen. Dennis did the 2-stop strategy in the first stint for us for the second hypercar, and he seemed to be really happy about it, as he positioned his car in P2, at least temporarily.
Oh,
Oh,
Poctavian!
Octavian spun out. And almost took... Oh, and there's also a spin for the Corvette of
Brumadinho.
Romadinho. Yes,
Wow, luckily without damage.
I think he might have just... He's going to play lottery today. Romadinho. Spin but no damage after such a collision. I think Octavian did nothing wrong in this situation. He tried to clear the space, but it was just too late and too difficult. And of course, this will cost Octavian a lot of time, as he will... Well, he would have entered the pit lane anyways in the next 2 laps.
Yes.
I think he might have been able to do one more lap, but that would have been it. But
Yeah.
this will cost him like 6 seconds of repair plus normal pit stop. But it could have gone way more worse, especially for Brumadinho, who lost a huge amount of time and might get the scare of his life. But at least the car's in one piece.
Yeah, again, luckily, like you said, nothing happened to Brumadinho. I can't really say if Octavian did something wrong. If Brumadinho thinks this was a wrong action to take, he has to send in this case to the stewards. But yeah, as for now, we have to let this go, and yeah, should be handled from
Now
the
that you're
two both
mentioning it,
parties.
now that you're mentioning it, there have not been many situations at the moment where we could say this is going to the stewards. It was a very clean race up until now.
Yeah, I think so. It
At
seems
least
to
that's
be.
my opinion of everything that I saw. There were a few spins, but most of the spins or accidents were self-inflicted.
Yeah.
Interlagos was just crazy. How many penalties were there? 16, 17, 18? Or racing
Yeah,
situations that
I
had to be
guess
analyzed? Oh my,
something like that.
that was crazy.
Yeah, I'm still a bit sad that I couldn't really help that much in this race because I was in Italy back then, and luckily I was able to do qualifying, but I had unknown
Oh,
lap
Philip
time.
Rage fully sent it onto the inside of Brumadinho and almost went into the grass. It could have barely ended in disaster.
Luckily it didn't.
Nope.
But yeah, Brumadinho now lost quite a bit of time. D goes into the pits because he has damage. Oh no. This is really not the stint for RRC. Now this is a certified 3-stop.
It has to be, yes, it has to. But I think most of the GT cars still are going for the 2-stop, as Brumadinho is staying out, Himbeer is staying out. The fuel distribution is very even between all GT3 cars. The only major difference is, to be honest, the tire wear. That's also not that much of a difference.
Yeah, it seems Brumadinho seems to have a bit more tire wear, but this could also be because of different reasons. Because
He
he is
also had
saying
his spin now.
he had to spin and he went into the pits way earlier than the rest of the field. D goes with a nearly completely refueled tank, goes out to the hunt again. sometimes that's just the whole team that has bad luck. At least in the first stint, I could say the bad luck was on me alone. But in this stint, everybody has some bad luck from RRC.
Yeah, same thing for us. We are currently also only in P4. I'm now watching my car almost spinning out, but nothing did happen. Luckily, of course, we hoped to be a little bit further ahead, but we have to say that the pace in the Group 3 class is really, really, really strong. So it's totally fine where we are positioned right now. P4 is a really strong position considering how fast the drivers around us are at the moment, in both classes, of course.
Yes, that's true. What is Lanxi doing? Lanxi is in P9, 7 seconds behind Squishy.
With a little more fuel.
Yeah, a little bit more fuel, but also a little bit more worn front tires. But on this track, it's not really a problem. The rear tires are the problem. And yeah, that's one thing I wanted to say because the Emmer cars on this track are really on a disadvantage because of the tire wear. I had to put all the way to the front to get even tire wear for this one. And yeah, it is possible to do a two-stop, but even then it's extremely difficult to get the car consistent over the whole lap, and the chicane is always very difficult to take.
I know exactly what you mean. It just takes one spin and then the tires are already so worn that it's a very difficult job. It's basically the same thing with the Lexus. The Lexus seems like a great car and it is very fun to drive, but it is so difficult to get out of slow corners because the rear of the car is so unstable while accelerating. It always wants to spin out.
Really?
Normally don't see it.
I find the Lexus to be horrible.
Yeah. Well, we did have like 11 months to build one or two good setups for the car, and we did need this time because I think before Interlagos we just had some setups for the car that were okay but not amazing. And now I think that we've reached the point where we could say that we might have come close to get the maximum out of the car. Maybe there's still a little bit more buffer, but at least we are now in the situation where we can say that everyone who's driving the car feels quite comfortable, and yeah, that was the main goal for us.
I just realized the track time here is 20:35 now.
How do you realize that? Is there a clock somewhere?
Yes, in the pits there is a clock. And
Oh, okay.
I just saw a video today where there was information that the clocks on the tracks are indeed working, and that they're showing the time. And yeah, it's 20:35
Oh,
here.
Kubinski again into the. No, Kubinski now into the pit lane, pit out.
Yeah, that was a regular stop, but his tires were
Yeah.
completely finished.
Yes, and considering he refueled for, like 73%, he will also enter the pit lane once more.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yes, Philip Rage also has like 45% left. I don't think that the fuel that Dominic took is enough to go till the end. But let's see. Maybe we're mistaken.
Yeah.
We hope so.
Squishy is on plan to do the two-stop, but I still think he needs to be a bit more aware of fuel, because if he continues like that, it will be very close to the end.
Ah, it's okay. He will be able to. Tire wear is okay. Fuel consumption is within the limits, more or less. 1 or 2 more laps he must do, and then I think he should be perfectly fine. Of course, the same thing counts for the cars behind, but yeah, everyone is a little bit better on fuel and on tires as well. But that just shows how much tires the AMG does eat during one stint. I think in the Mall the car had the same problem because Squishy was not driving the AMG for JCR, but Elias and EA Gamer I think were, or at least were driving for the team, and Gameltos was driving for us, also drove the AMG, and he said the same thing. The tire wear on this car is just crazy, depending on your setup.
Yeah, must be depending on your setup because I had absolutely no problem with tire wear on Le Mans. In the contrary, I did when I was driving my stints, I did the first stint and the second stint with the same set of tires.
Yeah, but it just depends on your setup. But the problem is if you want to do really good lap times with the AMG, you need a strong setup which consumes more tires and more fuel. Normally.
Yeah, look, the point for Le Mans for me was I didn't really want to achieve the best lap times. I wanted to go long. I wanted to go for a two-stop, and this worked out perfectly fine for me.
Yes, in the mall it's so important to do as less pit stop as you can possibly do. I think if you were on a 3-stop strategy in the mall, you already lost your stint, because I think without refueling you lose like 30 seconds or 40 seconds per pit stop, and you just are not able to gain this time back under normal circumstances. It's nearly impossible.
Yar or Javi is asking how we are doing, the RRC teams, I guess. Again, Ben disconnected. D-Goats is having trouble as well. It's 1 minute 30 behind Brumadinho, but Brumadinho needs to go into the pits quite soon and has to be very careful to get the car to the end. So yeah, not the best stint for us. And if you consider the LMH class, yeah, Netty has had a pretty bad mistake and now has damage again as well. Yeah, Netty has had a crash where he got
Nobody
engine
wants to be in
damage
P6.
and lost a minute.
But I think even if he comes into the pit for repairs, he will still stay ahead of Pax.
Yeah, Pax seems to have a real nightmare of the stint.
Meanwhile, Minano will also do his next scheduled pit stop in a few moments. I think he's on 2-stop, am I mistaken? He's on the 2-stop, right?
I don't know.
Just considering his tire wear, because I can't remember when he last entered the pit. But Eiffel Blitz was far ahead of him, so I would guess that he is on a 2-stop strategy. Because both of them still have to stop, but I know that Eiffel Blitz will have a way shorter pit stop due to the current amount of fuel in the car.
Could be possible that Milano goes for the two-stop, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not
Let's
convinced
see.
of this strategy. I also
If he
thought,
feels comfortable, let's go.
sure, yeah, but I also told my dad that he should rather go for the three-stop because the two-stop with the tire wear he has is not working. And then his idea was to make a four-stop, and Then I had to remind him again, I don't think a 4-stop is really working because the tires last long enough for the 3-stop.
Yeah, Squishy opened one more lap, as did Langsy, so I would say at least Squishy is coming into the pits at the end of this lap. Langsy might stay out for 1 or 2 more laps, maybe 3.
Yeah, 3 laps would be quite an achievement, I guess.
But
2
he
laps,
will at least
okay.
1 more lap.
Yeah, maybe 62, and I guess Squishy goes into the lap, goes into the pits in this lap.
What's interesting to see is that Milano and Eifelblitz are still a little bit apart from each other if you consider the tire wear on the 42 car. The gap is coming down, but not as fast as I would have expected. Well, Eifelblitz in the last lap I think gained like 1 second, so the gap now is definitely coming down. And Promadinho was in the pits as well. Did we miss something? He did not have any damage or something like this.
No, he needed to
Normal
refuel.
pit stop, no?
It's a normal pit stop,
Ah,
yeah.
okay.
So
Okay,
don't worry.
D-Goats did also refuel. He has like 75%, so I would almost guess that D-Goats has to enter the pits once again later on for fuel.
Yeah, I guess so too.
So Squishy now entering the pit, and as expected, Langsy stays out for at least 1 more lap. What is Drift King doing? Drift King now out of the Le Mans chicane. Still enough fuel, so I would say he stays out as well. The tires look really good on the McLaren.
The McLaren
Really,
has
really
always
good.
been very good with tire wear.
Yeah.
It's also in Gran Turismo from the BOP. It's one of the, if not the best MR car you can choose. Maybe the Porsche is as good, but not as fast, at least on the straights. But I think the McLaren is really the all-rounder considering MR cars that you could choose. It's
Okay.
also, I also think this car is also used in the Gran Turismo World Cups pretty
Yes,
frequently.
mostly.
Yeah, I think as well as the Lamborghini and as the Honda. I just hope that the Lamborghini got a better BOP because it's absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, that would be great because the car is very fun to drive normally. So Squishy Leader now out of the pits. Meanwhile, Himbeere also entered the pit lane. And Langsy now out of the Le Mans chicane. Maybe he will just be able to do 1 more lap, but I don't think so. I think he will now do his pit stop as well and go until the end of the stint. So, what about the hypercars? Let's have a look. Philip Rage still good on fuel. Milano will do his pit stop, I would say, now. He's almost out of fuel. And he's Eifelblitz just 3 seconds behind. And I'm pretty sure that they will not hold up each other.
And Brumadinho comes out not that much behind Himbeere. At least not as much as I thought. It's 11
Oh,
seconds.
drifting into the pits lane.
Yeah, regular pit stop, just like Langsy.
Yeah, but he could have done 1 or 2 more laps. The tires were perfect. Okay, that surprises me a little bit, but yeah, he must know what he's doing. Milano also into the pit, so a really, really busy pit lane at the moment. So each car on track must be a little bit cautious while passing pit exit because the probability that you might get caught up into a pit out car is really high at the moment. So Langsy must be refueling until the end, I think, as he will go for more or less 100%, maybe a little bit less. And Drift King will probably do the same thing.
Yeah, I'm looking at Milano, how long he refuels.
Yeah, Langsy pit exit in yeah, clean air, so perfect timing. And he is yeah, where he's been before. He gained even 1 second on Squishy Dealer. And Drift King now on pit exit as well, also with a clean track ahead. And yeah, Milano still refueling?
Yeah, indeed, this
And
could
Milano
be
will
a
definitely
two-stop.
come out in traffic. Yeah, he will definitely come out in traffic.
Yeah, he comes out
Ah,
behind
still
Netty, but Netty still has damage and needs to refuel quite soon.
I think Neddy is extending so that he does not have to do a second pit stop, which
Yeah,
is
I
quite a
guess
smart
so.
decision. If the lap times are okay, which they seem, so it is the best thing that he can do at the moment. But the tire wear is, yeah, crazy on this car. Right rear tire is basically not even existing anymore.
Yeah, the gaps are a bit spaced out, but still pretty close. Squishy Dealer 8.5 seconds in front of Lanxi, and he's 16 seconds in front of Drift King. Another 15.5 seconds to Himbeere. And
If you
then
keep an eye on Himbeere's kilometer counter, you will see that he's doing his first laps on this car. Just to mention that 500 kilometers is almost the range that he did during the stint. A little bit more, maybe.
yeah, not too bad. Where's Dominic? Dominic is in P4 for the moment, but I believe he must pit once again. And I think so because his tire wear has been pretty high.
I would say between P5 and P2, anything still could happen in the hypercar class. Philip Rage seems to be clear on track. He has a huge advantage at the moment. And he will also have a shorter pit stop at the end, I think, against Eifelblitz. Yeah. At least a little bit, like 2 or 3 seconds.
Yeah.
But Milano will still be interesting because the two cars ahead went for the 3-stop strategy. Well, basically every car in the LM hypercar class went for the 3-stop, except this one car. So it's going to be interesting where he will be positioned at the end of the stint. What should be clear is that every other car will be on better material for the final, like, 45 minutes or so.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. If it's okay for you, I'm going to take a short break as well for maximum 20 minutes, if you're happy with that.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, I'm going to hurry up and yeah, enjoy the rest of the stint. I'm going to be back shortly.
See ya. So yeah, let's make a quick rundown again. We have Philip Rage, 27 seconds in front of Eifelblitz. Then we have another 13 seconds to Poctavian, who had to recover after engine damage. "32 seconds behind is Dominik Kubinski. Then another 20 seconds behind is MRL Milano. But Milano, if he does well, he doesn't need to pit anymore. He doesn't need to lose time anymore. Doesn't need to change tires and do anything. Then we have Nati, who is still driving with the damage so that he can go for one last stint until the end. And another lap behind we have Pex DJ, who's also not having the greatest time. In the GT class we have Squishy Dealer in P8, clocking in with impressive pace. 9 seconds behind we have RTO Langsi. Also fine pace, 45, 46, always good lap times. Drift King in P10, 16 seconds behind Langsi. Then we have Himbeere 15 seconds behind, another 11 seconds behind Himbeere we have Brumadinho. And then in the last position we have D-Goats, who is not having the best time. And still needs to pit one at least once. Dominic seems to have been out of the track. Yeah, definitely half seconds penalty. So something happened here. Lost the car again, but was able to save it. 132 lap times are pretty good though, especially since the hybrid energy has been used more or less. So quite cautious here when overtaking D-Goats. Yeah, difficult to say which driver will come out in front of. If it is Eiffel Blitz or Poctavian. Poctavian has the advantage of having more fuel. But Eiffel Blitz is 30 seconds in front. Netty repairs the damage and goes out of the pits. If everything works perfectly, this is the last pit stop. And hopefully it works perfectly for him. Dominic all the time his car is drifting. Not ideal. Octavian now begins to lap faster than Eiffel Blitz. Maybe there was a little mistake in the lap of Eiffel Blitz. Himbeer has lost a bit of time against the goats. He maybe had a he had 2 bad laps. 2 times a 152 and then a 153. Whatever happened there, I can't say. Brumadinho now is 3 seconds in front of Himbeere. But if Brumadinho wants to go to the end, he needs to save a bit of fuel. Not much, but still. He showed that he was able to do that. Awesome stint. Philip, come on, keep pushing. Where's the GTC car? The GTC car is in P10 or P3 in class, doing a great job. Drift King seems to be really in sync with the McLaren. Yeah, 20 seconds behind RTO, that's okay. But we also must consider that in the last stint they weren't really that good. They lost quite a lot of time. So they started last in the class and need to get the time back again. Himbeere seems to have recovered and tries to make up the gap again. The goats trying to push the lap times aren't that good at the moment. It's 46s, but at least they are stable. Quite a shame, because he said in practice he said he was slightly faster. But yeah, can happen. Of course, we are still trying to get a good result out of the car. Anyway, we are closely coming into the third pit stop window. It will open quite soon. Philip will need to pit in the next 6 or 7 laps, I guess. It seems the gap between Eiffelblitz and Octavian has stabilized a bit. It's 12 seconds again. Eiffelblitz getting the occasional very good lap time out of the car, but then in one lap it seems she does a mistake and loses quite a lot of time. Really difficult to see where the pace is. Just want to check if Octavian has damage, but it doesn't seem that way. At the moment it just seems to be a bit slower. And now he's getting into traffic. Not ideal for him, that's even more of a time loss. Himbeere made a mistake here. Went off the track to avoid Octavian. Guess he won't be happy. And the goats, of course, should get a little bit of time back on him. Yeah, it's 3 seconds. But that doesn't really matter that much because he still needs to pit once more. He needs to get in some fuel. I don't think it will be much. Yeah, Eiffelblitz probably going into the pits in the next lap. I think she can do one more. As for Octavian, he can probably stay out, let's say 5 or 6. Nah, it's more, it's much more. At best, I would say it's 86 laps for Eiffelblitz. Milano still doing 132 lap times. Tire wear seems to be quite okay. Maybe he found a sweet spot with the setup so that he can do the 2-stop. A little bit of a drift out of the Le Mans chicanes. Yeah, Eiffel Blitz going for one more lap, but I think this lap she really needs to pit. Again, a very good lap time, 1:31. She's getting these occasional very fast laps, only to be followed by a 32 or a 33 lap time, where she loses 1.5 seconds. Now she has to be very careful with Squishy. Her league colleague. Would be bad if she would it would be bad if she would get involved in their race as well. But yeah, this time the lap was slower because of traffic. At least this time we can't really say it was traffic and nothing else. Well driven through the bus stop, as she calls them. And now one more pit stop. Yep, she steers into the pits. Octavian 12 seconds behind. Seems to be a bit more lucky with the lapping attempts. He can stay out about 6 or 7 more laps, but then he needs to pit as well. Nati is just about in front of Milano. In the GT class we have Squishy Dealer 5 seconds in front of RTO. It's still a very close battle. They were virtually had virtually the same time in the first stint, and now it seems they virtually have the same time in the second stint as well.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back. I think you didn't really miss much. Alpha Blitz has gone into the pits for a last time and is fallen back. But
Yeah, a few people made that time pit stop, okay.
She should be able to claim that position in no time.
Okay. Yeah, it looks still pretty equal than as it looked 20 minutes ago, so that's good. I took the time just to...
Langsy seems to have made a bit of progress. Is only 5 seconds behind Squishy. 25 seconds behind we have Drift King. Then we have Brumadinho, 23 seconds behind Drift King and 6 seconds in front of Himbere, who has had a little bit of problems in the stint. And D-Goats in P13 will still need to pit once again. I think Philip will go into the pits in this lap.
And I think could stay in P1, but it will be really close, but it doesn't matter anyways because Brookhaven will stop as well in a few laps.
Yes, of course. Can you show Pex, please? Okay, Pex DJ is in P7. 1 minute 05 behind Natty, but he will need to pit quite soon.
As well.
Yeah, his pit stop is on soon. What I find quite interesting in his driving style, the front right tire is literally not used.
And I had the same phenomenon with the Lexus during my long run as well, to be honest, and I still did not understand how this could happen. I don't know.
Strange. Yeah, Squishy stays out for one more lap. And hopefully he goes into the pits in this lap, because otherwise he would have many problems.
Squishy's going to the end, I think.
Yes, I think so too. But he still needs to be aware of the fuel, because yeah, I think in the next 6 minutes he could go to 50, but if he's unlucky, he might need to do one more lap, and if that should happen, then yeah, bad luck for him. Langsy is quite a bit more conservative with fuel. He has refueled less, but has also used less fuel. So he could be up for a push in the later phase of the stint. Yeah, Pax down the pits, as expected.
If Squishy has problems with fuel, Bombardino might have the same issue, because both of them have the same level of fuel, more or less.
Yeah,
The thing might be that, yeah.
Yeah, both of them need to be aware that they need to make the fuel last. And again, if they are unlucky and they are hitting one more lap in the last few minutes, then it could be very difficult to get the car to the end.
Yeah, but it's looking good. I think Squishy made like 21 laps with his starting fuel, and he now has more fuel, and remaining lap distance is like 22, 23 laps, something like this. So it's all okay. And the rest can maybe push a little bit more.
Yes, of course. Just wanted to emphasize that they still need to look about the fuel and not run out at the end.
Yeah, that's perfectly true.
Langsy seemed to have a bit of a problem this lap. It seems that he lost 2 seconds in this lap. Could have been because of the hypercars who were lapping. Now we have Drift King coming through the double chicane, and he's pretty good on fuel. I think he can be aggressive to the end.
I'm just realizing right now the gap between our Lexus and the Corvette of Bobadinho was like, I think, 0.5 seconds after finishing the first stint. And now they are still only 5 seconds apart, so it's so close between those two cars. And the gap is closing down and maybe will close down until the end of the stint. So it's very equal between both cars, and it's great to see.
Yeah, and I need to make a recovery with the Ferrari.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed that I don't make any more stupid mistakes.
Yeah, and to have luck on traffic as well. There's so many things that can happen, but I think if you had a stint like this, the rest of the race can only get better. That's normally what I always try to think for myself if I
Yeah,
have a stint like this.
of course, I also try to think like this. But yeah, sometimes the whole race is just cursed. And even if you go into it with a positive mindset, sometimes it just doesn't work either way. got really struggling with tire wear, especially at the rear. I heard from the other drivers that the car was a bit on the understeery side and they wanted to get a bit more oversteer, which is okay for a qualifying lap, but again, if you want to get the car working for a whole race distance, there is no other possibility than to put the weight to the front, because otherwise the weight balance of the car is 42.58, and yeah, the rear tires just get killed quite fast. That's why I always had to put the weight to the front to make the car a bit, yeah.
But
So
if you
that
take this into consideration, you still had a very good year with the Ferrari. I think you won Le Mans, you won the last races in Interlagos. I'm not sure where you finished at the Nürburgring. I think you won that one as well, right? Or was it Feel Good Racing?
it was a very close P2. We were a bit unlucky with the lobby disconnects
Ah, okay.
because for some reason uh, the disconnects happened right after we pitted, and the car that
Ah,
ultimately
yes, I
won,
remember.
and the car
I remember.
yeah, and the car that ultimately won didn't pit at that time frame. So yeah, they got multiple seconds gain, and in the end, that's why they won. About 10 seconds, but yeah, win is
That's
win.
racing.
Nuschel likes to say sometimes you're the tree and sometimes you're the dog. And it seems that we were the tree. Yeah, of course, sick individuals, Pock has to pit again, and right now he does.
So that means that Philip Rage takes back the race lead and will probably defend it until the end of the stint easily.
Yeah, but also
The question
Dominic.
is now, where will Poctavian exit now? This will be interesting because Dominic and Eifelblitz are now on the start-finish corner. It's not a straight.
Oh, Himbeere gets pushed a bit wide. Eifelblitz comes out in front of Poctavian, but not that much. 5 seconds,
Yeah,
even a
gonna
bit
be
less.
close.
And now she has Dominic in front. This isn't to her liking because Dominic is on old tires and needs to pit quite soon.
But I think she's aware of that and will get past him as quick as possible.
Good exit of Eiffel Blitz. She might be able to get the slipstream and make a pass. But it seems that Dominic is very good on the straight. Seems to have a car with less downforce.
Yes, it seems like this. But now he's coming into the pits, so that was a huge amount of luck for Eifelblitz.
Yes, definitely. Octavian still needs to heat up his tires, it seems, or maybe he was a bit unlucky with the lappings. But he's a 6.5 seconds behind Eiffel Blitz now. Milano is 55 seconds behind the lead and 15 seconds behind Octavian. It seems the strategy works for him.
Also, he now has a good enough gap to Dominic, I think, as well. Because in the 30 minutes remaining, I don't think that Dominic will be able to close that gap to Milano, which is now at about 20, 25 seconds. 18 seconds. So he will have to drive like 1 second faster every leg. And with traffic, it's impossible, but it's really difficult.
The gap between Squishy and Langsy has been stable. It's still 6 seconds. But now Langsy with the fuel advantage. And I think Squishy is on plan. Drift King 30 seconds behind. But should go to the end. Then we have Brumadinho. After that violent spin, he was able to recover quite well. Himbere 5 seconds behind Brumadinho, and D-Goats with a half-second penalty. I'm pretty sure he did put the weight quite a bit back, not like I do at 47.53. I put it all the way to the front, just to balance out front and rear. It seems like he has the weight more at the rear, and then you can't really execute a two-stop. But then, to compensate this, you would need to be very fast. If that doesn't work either, it's going to get very difficult.
I think it also depends a little bit on the track where you're driving at, because I remember at Interlagos, where I think Interlagos is more or less a track that consumes more front tires, and there you had a huge benefit with the Ferrari because we couldn't do anything against it with the Lexus. We tried everything, but we're driving the same strategy, and it was the only one that made sense for us. And yeah, it proves that there are other tracks where you can benefit from a car which consumes normally a little bit more rear than front tire wear.
Yes, that's true. I think for Interlagos and also for maybe the Nürburgring, it was a bit better to have the Ferrari because of the characteristic of the track, but especially for Monza and Le Mans, where the rear tire was the deciding factor, it was more difficult due to the race length. It still worked quite well. And due to Le Mans just being my and Knight Rider's signature track, it really helped a lot. And I think Road Atlanta went quite well. We just had no chance against Obelix. And in Interlagos it went very well. And yeah, Daytona seems to be quite a shit show in the first two stints, but there are still 15 hours of racing where we can make up time and maybe positions. Philip doesn't seem to make any mistakes here. 35 seconds in front of Eiffel Blitz.
Yeah, I think he's quite happy where he is right now.
Yeah, I guess so too. Then the 4 seconds gap to Poctavian. Yeah, Poctavian was able to make up the gap a bit. To take out a bit of time. Maybe he was a bit luckier with lapping. Then Milano, further 18 seconds behind. Dominic another 20 seconds behind Milano. Then we have Nati, who is 4 minutes and 5 seconds behind Philip Rage. And Pax is another 2 minutes 21 seconds behind.
And meanwhile, Brumadinho is pulling a little bit away from Himbere, so the gap is increasing again.
Indeed, yeah. But I think lap 85 was a bit sketchy. Maybe he was being lapped. It's a 47.8, so he lost a bit of time there. This lap time here seems to be a good one. Yeah, D-Golds will pit quite soon. Also change tires, I guess, because they don't look that good, and especially if the rear tire is that used that the fronts are still more or less brand new, the balance of the car can get very violent. Do we have anywhere a close gap?
At the moment, unfortunately not.
The gap between Eiffel Blitz and Octavian is changing between 4 to 6 seconds.
And Himbere made up 2 seconds again as well on Brumadinho, but that's the closest gap at the moment between two cars. Only 3.6 seconds left. It's getting closer and closer. Maybe Brumadinho is saving fuel.
Yeah, I guess so.
But it can't be that much fuel that he has to save. Still is more than enough.
Yeah, the last lap time was a 47, this one was a 46. He's definitely not that fast. Maybe he also was a bit unlucky with the lappings. It can be. But yeah, time loss is visible. Maybe Himbeere can get back to him. Asking when D goes into the pits, I think he will be the next lap.
Yes, but now he's doing a personal best. At least on my screen, maybe it's a bug. I hope not.
No, I think his personal best was a 44.7 or something like that. Or
Okay,
even
but that's a strong lap
44.6.
time as well. It's a really strong time.
Takes a bit of grass with him, but maybe it's just because he lags quite a bit. Yeah, personal best sector, or at least faster than in his fastest lap time. Natty behind him. Hopefully there wasn't a touch. .8 seconds now between Brumadinho and Himbeere.
Yes, it's getting closer, definitely. And there's no traffic from behind at the moment. I hope that D-Goats is not changing tires because it would cost, in my opinion, too much time.
No, he should change tires because at the end it could be very difficult with this tire. The
Okay,
rear is
so
just
maybe so better a safety stop for tires or a safety change of tires.
I will do that, yeah, because
Okay,
I wouldn't trust the tire to last this long. Yep, he does change tires.
okay, yeah, then you both had the same idea.
Yeah, I think he needs to refuel about 30 or 35 liters and then get out of the pits. Yeah, 32. Hopefully can put in some fast lap times at the end of the stint. 2 seconds now between Brumadinho and Himbeere. Show Petar. Petar. Who is Petar? .36 seconds now for Philip Rage. And Eiffel Blitz still 5 seconds in front of Octavian. We could really think it's a Sinus wave.
So that means that at the moment, Philip Rage is leading the race by, let me see, 19 seconds at the moment and increasing, now 20 seconds. So it's still really close after 6 hours of racing. And the 42 car seems still to be at P3. DLL at the moment in P4, but the gap is coming down. So, or better said, Octavian is pulling away from Milano at the moment. But what's really interesting will be the GT3 class, because I think the cars will be so close together.
Yeah, at least the leading two cars, I think Squishy Dealer and Langsy, only
Yes,
10
8
seconds
seconds at the
apart,
moment.
and they only had a gap of maybe 1
1
second
second.
in the previous
Yes,
stint.
so now 11 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely reasonable. Still nothing lost. Also, Drift King will make up quite a bit of time, especially to RRC.
Yes.
And yeah, next stint I have to drive like a hell.
Give it your best. But most important, have
I,
fun.
al- I always 1.4 seconds now between Brumadinho and Himbere.
I think if there is a gap, Himbere will go for it, definitely. As I know it, he will definitely go for it if there's even the slightest opportunity. And it would also be an important pass, because both cars are at the moment 0 seconds apart from each other.
Wow.
And now they're closing in again. So yeah, it's like a paradox.
Side by side with the hypercar, wow.
Okay, I'm staying with the GTEs. You stay with Hyper.
Whoa!
Oh, Pack spun out.
Whoa, wow, that was close. Himbere was
Yeah, but I
very
think it
lucky.
was his own mistake. And
Yeah,
now there's the race leader coming. Philip Rage just behind Himbere. Will he fully send it? No, he will not. He's staying back. Smart decision, as he might also see that both cars are still fighting for position. He does not want to get in the way. Himbere holding his line. Also really good job. Now Brumadinho, the next car ahead of Philip Rage, staying on the left-hand side. Great job. And yeah, Philip Rage, as expected, using the upper line to get past. And that helped Brumadinho. He pulled away a little bit again, and now he's out of slipstream range, out of from the Lexus.
yeah, for now.
For the time being, yes. Yes, he's definitely saving fuel. I don't think that he should lose that much time on the straight with the Corvette, because the Corvette, at least in the first stint, was really fast as well on the straight. Only half a second remaining. Oh, Pex has to come into the pits. He has damage. Yes, box for
Ah,
Pex, and the tires are gone as well. So I think he might have done a pit stop independent of the spin.
yes.
And Poctavian only 1.3 seconds behind Eiffel Blitz.
Now it gets interesting again. In two classes. And in both classes, WSR is involved.
Okay. Used cars, I stay with the GT3s. I keep you informed if anything happens, so that we don't miss anything.
Then I look at the LMH.
All right.
In general, in general, I think Eiffel Blitz has the... Yeah, not anymore. Octavian seems to be really in now. He has good pace, is on a personal best again, and this without using hybrid energy. So this is pretty good. But don't drive like a hell e-power comfy. Yeah, I'll try. Personal best lap without any personal best lap without any hybrid energy. That's cool. But also Eiffel Blitz is putting in some very fast laps. A 130.9 was the last
Himbeere
one.
now exactly on the tail of the Corvette, only 3/10 between both cars.
Okay, let's look at them.
They're now entering the Le Mans chicane, or approaching. Himbeere is going for it, but Brumadinho defending, still the gap too large to fully send it. And I think
Was
Brumadinho
that
got a better
legal?
exit.
No.
No.
I was already asking
can
myself, was that legal?
I can feel the rage already. I know this feeling. It's not the best one. And the gap between the hypercars also only half a second now. And they are just behind both fighting GT cars.
Double trouble.
Yes, Octavian not sending it. Oh, it's gonna be so close.
Yeah, Eiffel Blitz needs to be really careful here.
Yeah, but Philip playing it smart, or better said, Philip is the name of Himbeere, that's why I always call him like this. Staying out of the way of the two fighting hypercars. Brumadinho doing the same thing, so great job by everyone. That's what we want to see, clean racing, clean multi-class action.
Yeah, both came through without any problems here.
Meanwhile, Squishy 12 seconds ahead of Langsi. Langsi has a gap of 35 seconds to Drift King, and behind him 17 seconds approximately away is Brumadinho. He goes with a gap behind him of 1 minute and 15 seconds. Race leader in the hypercar class, Philip Rage. Second, Eiffel Blitz, 4-0, only 1 second behind Octavian. Further 30 seconds behind Milano in P5, 14 seconds behind Dominik Kubinski. And oh, Daddy McNasty went off the track, and I think he was pushed wide into turn 4.
By whom?
No damage, but there was definitely contact. What was the car next to him? I think it was either Philip Rage or a GT car. And the GT car nearby is only Langsi. One of those pushed Neddy McNasty wide. There were no other cars around.
Okay, yeah, sounds reasonable. Maybe there was a bit of a misunderstanding. Difficult to say.
Yes. If there was contact, just send it in for the stewards. We'll be happy to receive and judge your crimes and your situations of the race. Just kidding.
Yeah, Dego's not having the best time. Even in the last stint of him, he's losing a lot of time right now. Seems to make a lot of mistakes. Drift King is apologizing for what exactly?
I don't know if he was nearby, but I don't think so. He was not even close.
Maybe he was in the way of Eiffel Blitz and Octavian.
Oh, Max almost crashed into Himbeere because he wanted to pass him on the inner side of the oval and there was no space and nothing happened at the end, but it was very close.
Oh, okay.
Brumadinho always with a brilliant exit out of the bus stop, way faster than the Lexus.
Yeah, but the Lexus now getting the slipstream.
Yeah, but the problem is, look at the rev bar. The gearbox is not well done and it's not my one. But you have to say, you have now tailwind and slipstream and maybe we have to make the gearbox a little bit longer. At least the car is really fast on the straight. So, 5 minutes remaining
Oh,
approximately.
Octavian seems to have made a mistake. He's now 6 seconds behind Eiffel Blitz.
Yes, he has. Was there traffic? No.
Maybe.
Only Drift King. Maybe that was the situation, I don't know.
No, this couldn't be it. Because they were still close together when Drift King sent that message.
Okay. Ah, but as expected, the Corvette is really, really fast in a straight line, and considering that Brumadinho does not get any slipstream for nobody. Oh, I think Philip, I always say Philip Rage now overtaking and Himbeere now, I think with the best run he had so far on the Corvette. Trying to squeeze by on the inside, but there's just not enough space.
Yeah,
Brumadinho closing the door.
that the hypercar came at that exact moment did save Brumadinho quite a bit. And on the outside...
Oh,
Whoa!
I think he missed his braking point. Was there contact? I didn't see any contact.
I don't think there was contact. But
No,
Brumadinho
he missed his
did...
braking point.
Yeah, Brumadinho did approach the corner on the inside. Maybe he was just sliding a bit too much out of the grippy ideal line.
And Himbeere already pulling away, now 1 second clear. Oh, I think he's letting him back past. I think there was contact. Yes, he's letting him past.
Okay, fair play to Himbeere.
Yeah, I think that was more or less a team order.
Brumadinho on the last few drops of fuel, so he can
Oh,
be...
almost spinning out. Almost spun out Himbeere. Almost.
Yeah, but he's lucky that he only needs to do 2 laps. So he has to calculate for 2 laps, but even this amount of fuel, I don't know. It seems like 4 liters to me.
Yeah, it's okay.
It will be very
should be
difficult.
fine.
Will be very difficult.
Yes, but you're right. 2 laps to go for the GT cars.
At least for these
those
two.
who did not open it.
Squishy and
No,
Lam...
exactly 2.
I think Squishy could go for a 102nd lap.
You need 3.5 minutes for 2 laps, and now we are at least 2.5 minutes until finishing, so there will not be more than 2 laps, at least not for the Corvette and the Lexus.
Yeah, but I think Squishy could do another lap.
No, I don't think so.
No, I think the fuel will be a problem.
He has to do a lap now on a very, very, very lean setting. Yes, unless he does not use an extremely lean fuel setting.
Yeah, but he needs to be 10 seconds slower
But
in
no,
this
it's not
lap.
going to be enough. He has to stop. He has to stop. He has to stop because he has to do 2 more laps.
Or he... Oh no!
Yes, he's coming in.
You know what would have been better?
At least he realized it.
He could have just stopped on the... Or he could have been just 10 seconds slower and just let this lap count. This would have been faster. Now he's losing 30
Again,
seconds for
Himbeere
nothing.
almost spinning out. Yeah, not that much. I don't think he's going to change tires. He's just he now only has to do 1 more lap. He just needs to finish this one. Yes, smart decision not to change tires, because in this case it would have been 5 more unnecessary seconds. For just 1 lap, I think it's okay to do it on 1 warm tires.
Yeah, true, but it was
And still within 6 seconds, so all good. It could have gone way worse.
It was still a stupid move.
Himbeere again, close to Brumadinho. Trying to overtake him around the outside. Space has been given. So I would say the first cars to finish the stint is Langsi, if I'm not mistaken. 10 seconds remaining, and he is now exiting oval turn. Is it 5 or 6?
Yeah,
But
Langsi
yes, he will be the
finish.
first to finish. 101 laps completed with a gap of 22 seconds and 22 minutes 35. Squishy Dida, the next one, also 101 laps, 22 seconds and 22 minutes 42 seconds. And then we have a large queue. First one is Milano, who has just fended off P4. 1 minute and 23 with 160 laps completed.
Then
Dominik Kubinski,
X.
1 minute and 25. Yes,
Then
with
Philip
X.
Rage and D-Goats. Next one is Drift King.
Oh, hang on a second. Himbeere is overtaking Brumadinho. His final attempt. And they finish as close as we finished in the first stint. Amazing stuff.
Nice.
Exactly the same picture as 3.5 hours ago.
You couldn't made this up.
Nope.
Then we have Eiffel Blitz and Poctavian, the last one. Last one to finish.
Alright, so that was stint number 2.
Indeed. And this means that we will stop the broadcast and we will go on to stint 3. See you there.
See you, bye.